To start this event with an auspicious note, we will now have a lamp lighting ceremony, and to do the honors, I request our dignitaries on the dais to light the lamp and begin the 9th University Foundation Day celebrations of Professor Jaishankar, Telangana State Agricultural University. Thank you, dignitaries, for doing the honors. I now request the honored dignitaries and the audience to please stand up for the university song.
తిరుగులేని శక్తులుగా మహిళలు పొందించే గృహ విజ్ఞానాలయం. ఒక్కో విద్యార్థిలోన మొక్కబోని దీక్ష నింపి ఆకుపచ్చ సైనికునిగా తీర్చిదిద్దే శిక్షణాలయం. బోధన, పరిశోధన, విస్తరణ, బోధన, పరిశోధన, విస్తరణ, ముప్పేటగా అల్లుకున్న అద్భుత విద్యాలయం. ప్రొఫెసర్ జయశంకర్ తెలంగాణ వ్యవసాయ విశ్వవిద్యాలయం. ప్రొఫెసర్ జయశంకర్ తెలంగాణ వ్యవసాయ విశ్వవిద్యాలయం.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may please be seated. Let us now begin the 9th University Foundation Day celebrations with a welcome address. I request Dr. Seema, Dean of Agriculture and Agriculture Engineering, PJTS Agricultural University, to deliver the welcome address.
Good afternoon to one and all. It has been said and believed since long that for any great work to be done, it is important to have a right foundation, and today PJTSAU entered another successful year. Wishing you all a happy Foundation Day. Respected Chief Guest, Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Nalsari University of Law, Dr. M. Venkatramana Garu, Registrar, PJTSAU, all the distinguished guests, staff and students. On behalf of the entire PJTSAU fraternity, I extend our heartfelt and sincere welcome to the chief guest, Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao Garu, and thank him for agreeing to grace the celebrations. It's an honor to have you amidst us today, sir. I also welcome Dr. M. Venkatramana Garu to this auspicious event. I take this opportunity to welcome the members, Board of Management, PJTSAU, Dr. Surendra Raju Garu, Dr. Jamuna Rani Garu, Dr. Narendra Reddy Garu, and the university officers for today's program. It's my privilege and pleasure to welcome our former Vice Chancellor, Dr. A. Padmaraju Garu, and other university officers, and Dr. V. Praveen Rao Garu, former Vice Chancellor, PJTSAU, and the former board members to this event. A warm welcome to the Associate Deans, Associate Directors of Research, heads of the stations, heads of the department, heads of KVK, DART centers, non-teaching staff and students from undergraduation, post-graduation and doctoral program, and also diploma students. Welcome to this occasion. It's a privilege to welcome our beloved farmers from across the state to this memorable event. I welcome the print and electronic media to this grand meeting, and also welcome all those who have joined online from various colleges, research stations and other centers. And welcome to all the family and friends of the awardees, and I also welcome the sponsors of the awards from different industries, and a warm welcome to one and all for the 9th PJTSAU Foundation Day event. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam, for setting the tone of today's celebrations with your warm welcome address. Thank you once again. Next, I request our Director of Research, Dr. P. Raghurami Reddy, to please introduce the speaker of 9th Professor Jayashankar commemorative address.
Thank you, Madam. Good afternoon, and a warm welcome to all the participants to the 9th Foundation Day of Professor Jayashankar Telangana State Agricultural University. It's great honor and privilege to welcome today's chief guest, Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Nalsar University. Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao Sir obtained his LLB and LLM from Kavatiya University, Warangal. He has secured MPhil from National Law School of India, University Bangalore, and PhD from University of Delhi. Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao is a teacher and scholar in criminal law and access to justice. Professor Rao is currently Vice Chancellor of Nalsar, Hyderabad since November 2022. Before joining Nalsar, he was Vice Chancellor of National Law University, Delhi from 2020 to 2022, and also served as Vice Chancellor of National Law University, Odisha for 6 years from 2014 to 2020. Professor Rao was a Fulbright Nehru alumni. He had the distinction of working with 5 prestigious law universities in India for the past 3 decades. National Law School, Bangalore, Nalsar, Hyderabad, Gujarat National Law University, Gandhinagar, National Law University, Odisha, and National Law University, Delhi. He was a visiting fellow at the University of Washington, Seattle in 2012, and School of Oriental and African Studies, London in 2013. His major areas of research are in criminal law and criminal justice administration. Professor Rao received the highest award in the field of criminology, Kumparappa Reckless Award, for his outstanding contribution in criminal justice in education in India by Indian Society of Criminology in 2020. Professor Rao was chairman of the Committee for Reforms in Criminal Laws constituted by Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, constituted between 2020 and 2022, and submitted report on reforms in Indian Penal Code, Code of Criminal Procedures, and Indian Evidence Act in February 2022. Professor Rao was also member of the Indian delegation that presented the Universal Periodic Report of Human Rights at the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva, November 2022. Sir, thank you, sir, very much for accepting our invitation, and the House is very fortunate to have you today as our chief guest. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. I request Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Nalsar University, to please enlighten our audience with your address.
Sri Venkatramana Garu, Registrar, Praveen Rao Garu, Padmaraj Garu, former Vice Chancellors, Dr. Raghuram Reddy, Dr. Seema, Dr. Sudha Rani, distinguished guests, invitees, students, and friends. I have several nostalgic memories of this place from 1978 to 81. I have studied my BSc, was not able to get admission in APAU at that time, in the BSc Agriculture, but several of my friends were studied here, 77 to 81. I still remember 94A, bus from Koti to Rajendra Nagar. Beautiful campus I used to visit at that time. We used to go to Shivrampalli and several other places. I was asking, where is the Rose Garden? My batchmates, I think perhaps the first Indian Forest Service, Achalendra Reddy. He is now currently the chairman of the National Biodiversity Authority. Last 3 months ago, he came, visited our university. We have drafted a law for the Goa state government looking at biodiversity, tourism, and several other. So he was here. So T.R.K. Rao, who was IRTS, belongs to the same batch. Venkaya, Satyanarayana, and many. I used to have several friends, those who studied 77 to 81. And so I have a lot of nostalgic memories of this place. And after 83, this is the first time, I think after 40 years I am visiting. I am grateful to all of you for inviting me to interact and spend some time discussing with you several important issues. Second, I also deem it a great honor and privilege to be with you because Professor Jayashankar, I was not a direct student of Professor Jayashankar, but I know as a student who studied from Warangal, Professor Jayashankar, who founded the CKM College. I studied in the Arts and Science College in the same Warangal city. He was Kakatiya University, he was a Vice Chancellor, but I know him in several what you call as మనం తెలుగులో ఏం చెప్తామనంటే మనకు గురువు కొంతమంది ఉంటారు. గురువుకి మనం వాళ్ళ కింద మనం చదవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, చదవకున్నా కూడా గురువు అవుతారు. ఏకలవ్య గురువులాగా మీరు అనుకోవచ్చు. సో అట్లా ఎకనామిక్స్, అగ్రికల్చర్, ఇరిగేషన్ మీద జయశంకర్ గారికి చాలా పట్టు ఉండేది. సో దట్స్ ది లెట్స్ pay our tributes to Professor Jayashankar, under whose name this agricultural university was established. As I said, Professor Jayashankar was a teacher, scholar, ideologue, and one of the architects of the modern Telangana state. So I stand before you today with immense pleasure and pride as we gather to celebrate the 9th Foundation Day of Professor Jayashankar Telangana State Agricultural University. It's a privilege and honor to interact with you today as it provides an opportunity to share few ideas and thoughts and also to rethink on the concept of sustainable development. All of us, we know, development is an important for all disciplines in the higher education. In law, both in all the NLUs, we have a compulsory course on law and development. In the Nalsar, when we started in 1998, we introduced not just law and development, law, poverty and development. That was one of the most sought after course in Nalsar. So obviously all of us, we are concerned about development, we discuss about the development, and development is agricultural development and agrarian movements and the land reform movement, several other things will come up. There's several phases of development. The conventional development, the development paradigm we look at, modern day development, science technological development, and several other things. So sustainable development is a very interesting. And if you look at international development, particularly Human Development Report, first time you see all over the world, UN Human Development Report has really created the first time benchmarks and indicators. I think all of you must read from 90s onwards, and now there are several indicators for everything, rule of law index and several others. So I will not go into much details, but I wanted to emphasize that development, sustainable development is a very interesting paradigm cutting across branches of knowledges and disciplines. Further, sustainable development, its impact has a great future learning for both agricultural universities and law universities. I used to offer a course on agricultural biotechnology. I learned many things. And I developed a personal interest in agricultural law. I remember our second batch student, this girl from Chittor, she was, after passing out LLB from Nalsar second batch, she was able to get an admission to study LLM in agricultural law in Arkansas University. So, and later she worked in the FAO and several years, now currently based in Toronto, Canada, but she works on agriculture, bamboo cultivation and several other. So sustainable development, as I said, has a great impact, both disciplines, agriculture and law. Incidentally, this year, Nalsar started an innovative legal aid program for farmers called Agri Legal Aid Clinic. I'll speak about this later part of my interaction. So I would like to spend some time on 4 key issues. First, concept and notion of sustainable development. Second, understanding sustainable agriculture, including sustainable farming system. Here, I was just looking about 2 success stories, so I'll share with you 2 success stories. Third, our new experiment on agri-legal aid. And lastly, visualizing multidisciplinary learning and how agriculture, law universities should combine and work together in future. Let me first start with understanding sustainable development. So all of us, we are aware the idea and concept of sustainable development goes back to 50 years in the light of environment protection. In India also, we have seen, I think all of you have heard about Bhopal gas disaster. And Union Carbide Company, which is an American company which has a Union Carbide India Limited in Bhopal, and that raised several development. That's later your Environment Protection Act came into India, and several other regulatory mechanisms were in place. So similarly, this, you look at the Stockholm Declaration of 1972, recognized the intricate relationship between environmental conservation and economic development. It also started a new understanding about the link between human beings and environment. It developed the connection between economic growth, environmental protection, agriculture, and well-being of the people. Sustainable development has emerged as a cornerstone of our modern world, a path towards harmony between human progress and the health of our planet. In this context, the role of agriculture becomes paramount, as it is not only a source of sustenance, but also a key player in shaping the destiny of our environment. The challenge before us is significant to feed the growing global population while safeguarding the ecosystems and natural resources for generations to come. After 1972 Stockholm Declaration, the major Brundtland Report 1987 defined the sustainable development for the first time, which was also acknowledged and endorsed by the UN General Assembly in the 1987, the same year. I'll just briefly mention what is this sustainable development endorsed in 1987, the UN General Assembly. It says sustainable development is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. Thereafter, the notion of sustainable development became the key concept in the international policy making, not just only environment, but also other policies. The Rio Declaration 1992 underscored once again, and as a part of it's again adopted UN Conference on Environment and Development, which is a widely accepted policy on sustainable development. This Rio Declaration of 1992 has again mentioned 27 common minimum principles. This is the international history relating to the sustainable development. And today, sustainable development became an umbrella concept for all discussions related to human development, social and economic development, promoting environmental protection and sustainable agriculture. Let me now look at the sustainable agriculture. Agriculture is one of the most important agenda of sustainable development. I still remember my mother always used to say, in fact, 60s and 70s, particularly, I don't know whether it's a peculiar feature of the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh or in all other land-owning states in India. Everybody they refused to take any employment at that time. Manaku land undi chalu inkem avasaram ledu anevaళ్ళు. I think I still remember trying to recollect the Sumati Shatakam. ఎవరైనా వడిగల రెండెడ్లు గట్టి మడిదిన్నుకి బతుకుటే మహిళో సుమతి, వీరి దగ్గర వాళ్ళ దగ్గర మనం పనిచేయడం ఎందుకు అన్న కాన్సెప్ట్ అప్పుడు 60s ఉండేది. బట్ వి సీ దట్ ఈస్ ఎ చేంజింగ్ లేటర్ ఆన్. బట్ సో దేర్ ఫోర్ అగ్రికల్చర్ ఈస్ ద మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఎజెండా ఆఫ్ ద సస్టైనబుల్ డెవలప్మెంట్. ఇట్స్ డైరెక్ట్లీ లింక్డ్ టు బేసిక్ మినిమమ్ నీడ్స్ such as right to food, food security, conservation, biodiversity, and broader environmental debates, including intellectual property rights. If you look at right to food, if you are interested in law, I think you must study some part of the law, and particularly the Constitution. And Constitution in the directive principles refers about agriculture and nutrition. But particularly if you look at the Indian Supreme Court's interventions in the right to food, are amazing. And they have completely written right to food as a part of the Article 21. ఇండియన్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఒక లాయర్స్ జడ్జెస్ వీళ్ళే కాదు, ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు చదవాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. పర్టికులర్గా అగ్రికల్చరల్ స్టూడెంట్స్, ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ ఎనీవన్ ఈజ్ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్, ప్లీజ్ రీడ్ ద ఇండియన్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్. అండ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫండమెంటల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ ఆర్ if somebody asks which is the important article of the Indian Constitution, of course people will first look at Article 14, equality. But along with Article 14, Article 21 is also one of the most fundamental of the fundamental rights, the right to life and personal liberty. So right to food, Indian Supreme Court in several occasions, starting from 2001 to 2004, you look at several cases. In fact, Supreme Court has followed a continuing mandamus to implement the right to food, but it was just confined only to the public distribution system and to see that the rice which is lying in the Food Corporation of India godowns is distributed and it is rotten. But you must look at the right to food jurisprudence which was created by the Indian Supreme Court. So therefore, the sustainable developments is linked to basic minimum needs, right to food, food security, conservation, biodiversity, and broader environmental debates, including intellectual properties. As you are aware, India's Green Revolution remains the most defining phase of Indian agriculture in the last century. an input-intensive and technology-focused approach helped India to avoid potential famines and meet its food security needs by reducing food imports. While the Green Revolution has ensured India's self-sufficiency for our cereal needs and has touched most Indian farmers, its long-term impacts are now visibly evident. Be it degrading topsoil, declining groundwater levels, contaminating water bodies, and reducing biodiversity. These are some of the side effects of the Green Revolution, what we have seen. Measuring climate change science is making it evident that input-intensive agriculture is both a contributor and a victim of climate change. Therefore, sustainable agriculture is a prime need for developing India for the future sustainable development. As the world population continues to grow to 9 billion by year 2050, much more effort and innovation will be urgently needed in order to sustainably increase agricultural production by at least 70%. Improve the global supply chain, decrease food losses and waste, and ensure that all who are suffering from hunger and nutrition have access to nutritious food. Agricultural systems worldwide must become more productive and less wasteful. Sustainable agricultural practices and food systems, including both production and consumption, must be pursued from a holistic and integrated perspective. Interestingly, Articles 47, 48 of Directive Principles of State Policy in Chapter 4 of the Indian Constitution recognizes organization of agriculture. If you see Article 48, which in the Directive Principles speaks about agriculture and animal husbandry. First time the word agriculture and animal husbandry you can see in this Article 48. Similarly, Article 47, which emphasizes on duty of the state to raise level of nutrition and standards of living and to improve public health. So all of you, if you are familiar with the Indian Constitution, you see the Part 3 is a very important chapter of the Indian Constitution. Part of the Indian Constitution, which are there, fundamental rights are mentioned, and Part 4, which speaks about Directive Principles of State Policy, which are fundamental in governance of the country. Land, healthy soil, water, and plant genetic resources are key inputs into food production, and their growing scarcity in many parts of the world makes it imperative to use and manage them sustainably. Boosting yields on existing agricultural lands through sustainable agricultural practices would relieve the pressure to clear forests for agricultural production. Wise management of scarce water through improved irrigation and storage technologies combined with development of new drought-resistant crop varieties can contribute to sustainable dryland productivity. Shaping the development of sustainable agriculture of a country depends heavily on the judicious mix of its available resources. The productivity growth can be primarily increased by two modes. First, increasing output with more efficient use of available resources, and secondly, by increasing output by variation in agricultural input. First holds more merit in the light of productivity and sustainability, yet due to ever-increasing population, this method may not provide a permanent solution. However, the second method may potentially cause environmental degradation. There is thus an urgent need to tackle issues relating to development of a sustainable agriculture in India. Now, let me devote some time on sustainable farming system and share with you two success stories in this context. You are all familiar with the ecological sustainability, economic sustainability, and social sustainability. I will not devote time on that, but let me share two success stories of sustainable agriculture. The first story comes from the success story of organic farming in Enabavi, a small village in Warangal district. And Enabavi is this small village in Warangal district which tells us the story of sustainable farming. The entire village is not using any chemical fertilizers nor chemical pesticides. This small village attracts attention from all walks of life. With just 51 households in the village started shifting to organic farming about a decade ago. Then in 2005-06, the entire land of 282 acres was converted to organic farming. Today, Enbavi has many valuable lessons to teach to our farmers. They have lessons to share on social regulation of the village, learning from each other. They also teach their school-going children the knowledge and skills of non-chemical farming. Second success story is just recently reported. This is from Mangrove Restoration Project in Paderu with the help of tribals. This is a success story brought into limelight by Anant Shankar, an Indian Forest Service officer in Visakhapatnam district. This is a success story about Mangrove Restoration Project undertaken by Anant Shankar with the help of tribal communities in Andhra Pradesh. Anant Shankar undertook successful mangrove restoration program. Anant says, I quote, local fishermen played a crucial role. The entire process was carried out by hand without machines. Our primary goal was not just restoration, but ecological restoration. Everything from choosing the land, understanding the salt levels and tides, picking up plant species, deciding when and how to plant, creating planting channels and determining their depth was done by the tribals with the help of this IFS officer Anant Shankar. He further states that the success of the entire project hinged on their expertise, people's expertise. They offered us more insights than we provided them. The local tribal communities have been pivotal in obtaining seeds of several plant species on the brink of extinction in the region. These communities also have loads of historical information on species that were once abundant but are now rare. These are the two success stories clearly demonstrate that organic farming and sustainable agriculture is the future. Let me now share about the new experiment what we have started, Agri Legal Aid Clinic, catering to farmers' legal needs. I think some of you may be aware that there is legal aid system which exists in India. We have an institutional mechanism to support and promote legal aid. Legal aid and services is for the poor, marginalized communities is a constitutional mandate. And we have 1987 onwards, there is a National Legal Service Authority at the national level, which is chaired by a senior judge of the Supreme Court. Yesterday, Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, who is the chairperson of the National Legal Service Authority, was in the Nalsar campus delivering the convocation address. Similarly, you have in the state level, second senior most judge will look after the state level legal service authority. Now you have a district level and taluka level. So legal aid is a very robust mechanism of reaching out to the people and communities, those who are unable to engage with the justice system, and to provide them the access to the law and the court system. So access to justice is a very important aspect of the constitutional mandate and the preambulatory promises. So therefore, we have seen in India, starting from last 4 decades of legal aid, all of you are familiar with the prison legal aid. You're also familiar with the legal aid which is being given to the child rights issues, environmental protection, and several other issues. So when we were looking at these issues, and also I must mention that contribution of the Nalsar in 2000, when the government of Andhra Pradesh started Society for Elimination of Rural Poverty. There's a World Bank program which was started by the Ministry of Rural Development, State of Andhra Pradesh. That was the time I was teaching a course in the Nalsar on legal aid course, so we were interested. So we said, why there are cases relating to land were lying with the revenue courts. the district collector, joint collector deals with several of these land disputes. So I went with a team of the students. We stayed in a Mahbubabad village in Warangal district, studied why there was a delay in the disposal of these land disputes. That started emerging for the first time, starting the land rights paralegal program in Andhra Pradesh that was a part of the Society for Elimination of Rural Poverty, Rural Development Institute, which is based in the Seattle, the University of Washington. Again, is a very interesting story of Rural Development Institute. This professor started as a program part of the University of Washington. All of you know about Seattle because Microsoft main office is in Seattle. You know several of your friends, relatives in Seattle, the information technology hub of the United States. So Seattle, where this University of Washington, Professor Roy Posterman started his course on rural development as a part of the School of Law, University of Washington in Seattle. Then later it developed as a professional international group based in Seattle. So we started working with the Rural Development Institute Seattle in 2003-2004, and that's how first time the Andhra Pradesh has contributed, Nalsar has contributed development of the first ever land rights paralegal system. And then one of our alumni has taken up that, and he has been working in Andhra Pradesh and several other parts of India. So looking at the experiment of the land rights paralegal, we thought let us extend the legal aid not just only to the land rights issues but correlated to that farmers issues. So that's how our the new innovative Farmers Legal Aid Clinic took shape this year, and thanks to Justice Navin Rao, at that time he was the chairman of the Telangana State Legal Service Authority. He immediately has helped us, and we started this land rights Farmers Legal Aid Clinic we call as Agri Legal Aid Clinics. I have also read, you can correct me, and clinical legal education is something United States, Australia, Canada, all over the world is a very innovative program as a part of the new method of learning. Clinic we borrowed, legal education borrowed clinics from the medical science. You know, a medical college will not offer any instruction unless they have a hospital, teaching hospital. So clinic is very familiar, popular word in the medical higher education terminology. So we started developing that clinic. Prison legal services clinic is popular all over India. I have also read agricultural education also has started some agri clinics. But looking at extending that from the land rights to the agriculture and farmers issues, this was started this year with the help of the Telangana State Legal Service Authority. And this is Article 39A, which was clearly mentions about in the Indian Constitution, justice to all. That's a 39A is the major spirit behind the legal aid. So farmers, we thought about developing this as agri-legal aid clinics because farmers are one such community who have not been provided legal aid and services when they face problems related to land, seeds, water, fertilizers, etc. Agriculture and its allied sectors are the largest source of livelihood in India. Many agricultural laws have been passed to promote and regulate agriculture sector, ensure food security, but the farmers do not have an access to deal with these institutions. Farmers can approach the Consumer Forum. If you look at Consumer Protection Act 1986 and also now the amended 2019 Consumer Protection Act is a remarkable forum. In fact, if you look at the progressive forums is Consumer Forum, Family Court Forum. In fact, these two legislations have a provision barring the advocates entering into this forum because they don't want to be an adversarial proceeding. It's a people-friendly courts, whether the Consumer Forum or the Family Court Forum. They provide anybody to argue and submit, not necessary lawyers. So therefore, but there is a very little awareness about how to deal with the consumer forums. And forum has a consumer forum is not only a district judge, but also somebody who is a expert from the professional NGO, or somebody who is involved in the consumer also is a member of the consumer forum. So these are all the remarkable institutions, not conventional court systems. So therefore, farmers can approach the consumer forums for getting compensation under the Consumer Protection Act in cases of spurious seeds, non-germination of seeds, or less or no yield. You know, the marketing companies or fertilizer companies will provide so many guarantees. Once you use our seeds, you will get so much of output and several other things. Several promises are failed. I know there's a marketing has really developed, and of course that is their sustenance. So therefore, if any of these yield was not proper, non-germination of seeds, consumer forum can be approached. But the farmers rarely seek redressal under the consumer protection. So therefore, Agri Legal Aid Clinic, we started this effort by Nalsar University to help farmers to develop institutional mechanisms and effective system to empower the farmer. This is the first time a legal aid mechanism is used to help the farmers. In fact, this Telangana State Legal Service Authority, this scheme was also appreciated at the national level, and other state governments are also thinking of taking this further. So the Agri Legal Aid Clinic help in resolving the labor, water, land and other problems faced by consumers. I wanted just two more issues. One is how the technology development we must use. I wanted to give one example of our recent research project we have just undertaking with the Australian government, and then I'll come to the last part, how do we nurture sustainability and agriculture. Technology, particularly advancements in artificial intelligence, machine learning, has significantly enhanced the creation of new knowledge and research across various fields, including agriculture and digital health. I think it's going to come up. And people started thinking negatively that artificial intelligence will take away the judicial system, and like we had these apprehensions when Rajiv Gandhi first time introduced computers. Everybody thought that computers will take away. I'll give you another example. When Advocates Act was amended, the Civil Procedure Code was amended first time. You know, Civil Procedure Code is something very difficult law which deals with how the civil courts has to function. In 1990s, there was an experiment and there was an amendment to the CPC that the court, before proceeds with the case, they should explore resolving the case by alternative dispute resolution method. If the court fails to explore resolving, then only they should proceed with the adversarial method of court hearing, examination, chief, because it takes a long time. So this was also opposed by advocates. These are the two examples we have seen in the history. One is when computers were introduced, everybody said it will take away. Now we have seen how computer is an integral part of that. Similarly, I'll give in the legal profession, as I said, civil procedure was amended, all advocates were against. Now they have realized arbitration, mediation, dispute resolution has become a buzzword in the dispute resolution in the legal profession. So, don't look at the artificial intelligence as a negative concept, but look at significantly. It may not, like I always used to say, artificial intelligence will not write the judgment. Artificial intelligence also has its own limitation, but it has a profound impact in the coming years. So we are looking at this. If you look at use of artificial intelligence already started in several areas, particularly the university. If you are giving a research project, you know about the various debates about ChatGPT, how do we do that, or what are the other methods, research papers, several other issues are coming up, but we have to deal with more intelligently. So this is now, we have just technology is promoting inclusivity in digital health through AI and machine learning. We have just taken a recent project with the Australian government with the Melbourne University, Australia. We are looking at how to build inclusivity by design in the health technology. You know, like fine tech, health tech is also emerging. We are looking at the secondary data which is available in India and Australia, how it can further help in the healthcare. This is an interdisciplinary research collaboration that facilitates cooperation between legal experts, healthcare professionals, data scientists, policy makers to address multifaceted challenges. We leverage understanding of healthcare regulations to ensure policies aligned with the existing laws to protect patient rights. We also look at ethical insights that contribute ethical perspective to navigate in the moral implications of artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies in healthcare. Lastly, about nurturing sustainability and agriculture. Over the years, agricultural education played a commendable role in transforming Indian agriculture and achieving sustainable development goals. It has to go beyond offering of mere technical agricultural education, but move towards developing sustainable socio-economic entrepreneurship, including human skills and linking agriculture to industry and public service. Startup ecosystem and entrepreneurship should be taught as a part of the higher education in all the university. We have Nalsar, we have created a Section 8 company just looking at the entrepreneurship and working very closely with the Telangana Hub. I think Agricultural University also should closely work with the T-Hub, which is doing a wonderful work and which is showing a direction to the higher educational institutions in India. As rightly observed by Irina Bokova, Director General of UNESCO, I quote, "Now more than ever, education has a responsibility to be in gear with 21st century challenges and skills that will lead to sustainable and inclusive growth and peaceful coexistence." Sustainable Development Goal 4 on education is essential for all universities to achieve all the Sustainable Development Goals, which aims to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Here, legal education, agricultural education should work together. We should learn from each other. We should think about in future developing a course on a joint course on agricultural law. Friends, as we commemorate the Agricultural University's Foundation Day, we must remember that sustainable development in agriculture is not a singular achievement but an ongoing journey. Each of us has a role to play in this narrative. Whether you are a student, a researcher, a farmer, or a policy maker, your choices and actions reverberate across the landscape of sustainable agriculture. Let's champion agro-ecological resilience, minimize food waste, and promote equitable access to resources. Let us engage in ethical consumption and support local farmers. Let us embrace the principles of circular economy and conservation agriculture. Let us, in all our own capacities, become stewards of the earth. In conclusion, as we celebrate Agricultural University's Foundation Day, let us also celebrate the foundations we are laying for a more sustainable, equitable, and prosperous agricultural future. The journey is long, the challenges are great, but the rewards bountiful harvest, thriving ecosystems, and a wonderful world of nourished in harmony, there we all have to reach. Thanking you for giving me this opportunity to interact with you. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your fond memories about your good old days in and around our campus and about the most revered personality, Professor Jaishankar. Sir, we are deeply indebted to you for your valuable advice and guidance about ecological, economic, social, and agricultural sustainability, along with examples and case studies. Sir, thank you also for emphasizing on the important articles and rights related to food, land and agriculture provided by the Indian Constitution and about the robust role of Nalsar University in framing those rights. Thank you again, sir, for your valuable address. Let us now move on to the next event, release of publications. I request the dignitaries on the dais to please release the publications. May we have the book for release, Agrotechnologies 2122, compiled and edited by Dr. M. Venkatramana, K.B. Sunita Devi, R. Vijay Kumari, V. Ramulu, T. Anjaya, Pragati Kumari, R. Jagadishwar, and P. Raghuram Reddy from PJTSAU. This book comprehensively covers the dynamic solution-based technologies involving interdisciplinary efforts for collateral benefits, ensuring environmental safety, enhanced water, fertilizer, crop protection chemicals use efficiency, and mechanization of selective crop production leading to sustainability. Thank you, sir. Now let us move on to the award session, the Lifetime Achievement Award. I request our Registrar of PJTSAU, Dr. M. Venkatramana, to announce the most prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award.
Namaskar. With immense pleasure and honor, I announce PJTSAU Lifetime Achievement Award to Padma Shri Professor E.A. Siddiqui Garu, DDG, former DDG, ICR. I humbly request Professor Siddiqui Garu to please come on to the dais and receive the award.
I request our Registrar PJTSAU, Dr. M. Venkatramana, to please read the citation of Lifetime Achievement Award.
I have the privilege to read the citation about Professor Padma Shri E.A. Siddiqui Garu. Dr. E.A. Siddiqui was born on July 15, 1937 to late Sri Ibrahim Ali and late Srimati Pathammal in the remote village of Ilangudi, Sivaganga district, Tamil Nadu, India. Dr. Siddiqui, popularly known as father of hybrid rice in India, was raised by his mother, from whom he inherited valuable traits of self-respect, esteem and endurance, and that saw him through a journey of life without dreams. Though his natural passion would have made him a journalist or a creative writer, destiny molded him into a world-renowned agricultural scientist by virtue of sheer hard work and determination. Surmounting great financial hurdles from the age of 15 years, he graduated with a BSc in botany from Madras University and obtained master's and doctoral degrees in cytogenetics and plant breeding from IRI, a premier institute, New Delhi. From humble beginnings as cytogenetist at IRI, New Delhi, he went on to become the Deputy Director General Crop Science at ICAR, one among men who made history as a visionary leader, architect of hybrid rice programs in India, Egypt and Vietnam, policy advisor and educator, and above all, a humble altruist. Dr. Siddiqui was engaged in applied and basic research in rice for over 3 decades, which resulted in world's first high-yielding dwarf basmati rice variety, Pusa Basmati 1. Quick maturing like Pusa 21, 2-21, Pusa 33 and Pusa 873 for multiple cropping, and Pusa 169 and Pusa 203 for wheat rice cropping system, and Pusa 443 the only variety suited to combined harvesting and in the intensively cropped Punjab, Haryana and Western UP. Pioneering hybrid breeding research in India led to commercially popular hybrid DRR H1 with 1 ton yield advantage over the best varieties. Pusa Basmati 1 has provided a strong base for developing India's first Basmati hybrid Pusa RH10 and a number of early maturing yielding varieties of Basmati quality like Sugandh 1 and Sugandh 2, etc. His scientific leadership was valued at the national and international levels as he occupied coveted positions and facilitated rice research in Egypt, in establishing National Rice Research Institute in Mekong Delta, Vietnam, played a significant role in the evaluation and release of India's first GM crop, BT cotton, and developed GM mustard by a Delhi University NDDB. As a member of the Scientific Advisory Council to the Prime Minister of India, he provided inputs for establishing the National Institute of Animal Biotechnology at University of Hyderabad. He was also the architect of the draft for the National Agriculture Museum, and as honorary professor played a significant role in the development of crop biotechnology research in Angro and PZTSAU. Having published more than 250 research papers, Dr. Siddiqui is a fellow of several science academies in India, the Indian National Science Academy, National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, Society of Plant Genetic Resources, to name a few. He has also been conferred with several national and international awards, including Rafi Ahmed Kidwai Award, Norman Borlaug Award, Dr. B.P. Paul Memorial Award between 1995 to 2011. And science apart, Dr. Siddiqui has educated more than 300 economically underprivileged youth who have graduated in engineering, medicine, agriculture through ESF Trust. To this, not only he founded, he also funded, and his well-wishers also have funded for this particular trust, and he has given education to underprivileged students. For his inspiring agricultural research stewardship and commitment, the Government of India conferred the prestigious Padma Shri Award in the year 2011. PZTSAU was blessed to have his services as Honorable Member of Board of Management for 2 terms from its inception, and during which time he reoriented the university research agenda to suit to the challenges and requirements of the farming community of Telangana state. Believing in promoting excellence among students and faculty, Dr. E.S. Siddiqui's family generously instituted several awards for achievers at PZTSAU. Today, he stands tall, a towering example of the self-motivation, industry, professionalism, tenacity, and humanity for the entire agricultural fraternity. In recognition of his exemplary scientific contributions and research leadership, Professor Jayasankar, Telangana State Agriculture University bestows the Professor Jayasankar PJTSAU Lifetime Achievement Award 2023 to Padma Shri Dr. E.A. Siddiqui on the occasion of the 9th Foundation Day of PJTSAU today. Thank you very much.
I request all the audience to please stand up for a standing ovation to Dr. E.A. Siddiq for receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award from PJTS Agricultural University.
I do not find appropriate word or phrase to thankfully, gratefully thank the university for recognizing me on this Foundation Day. I was talking to your chief guest just now. It was very appropriate to choose Honorable Krishna Rao, Krishna Deva Rao, Professor Krishna Deva Rao as the chief guest of the day for this Foundation Day lecture. It is a commemorative lecture for our I have a lot of problems in cogently speaking. Forgive me. I am suffering all sorts of problems, and I am happy to receive this award today morning. Today morning I spent time with rice scientists and other scientists, craft-oriented institute directors, and I found a lot of young people have taken on them the responsibility of keeping this country of 1.7 billion people by 2050, and I do not want to speak more.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your words. So inspiring.
Thank you very much, Siddiq sir, for joining us in person to receive the most prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award in spite of your health condition. Thank you, sir. We will now start with the next category of awards, the Farmer Awards. PJTSAU has always been proactive in honoring and recognizing the commitments made by the unsung heroes within the field of Telangana agriculture, the farmers, for their hard work that ensures and protects our food supply. PJTSAU supports the farmers and acknowledges them with PJTSAU Best Progressive Farmer Awards for their unique efforts that echoes with efficient and productive farming. This year we have 9 awards selected from 3 zones of the state for PJTSAU Best Progressive Award, and the first award goes to Sri Meka Venkat Reddy from Kuravi village, Mehboobaabad. I request the dignitaries to please hand over the awards to the awardees. మేకా వెంకటరెడ్డి గారు కురవి గ్రామం మెహబూబాబాద్ జిల్లాకు చెందిన రైతు. గత 20 సంవత్సరాలుగా వ్యవసాయంలో నూతన సాంకేతికత పైన దృష్టి సాధిస్తూ కృషి విజ్ఞాన కేంద్రం మల్యాల వారి సూచనలు మరియు సలహాలతో అధిక సాంద్రత పత్తి సాగు చేస్తూ అధిక దిగుబడులు సాధిస్తున్నారు. ప్రతి సంవత్సరము చిరు సంచులు సాగు చేస్తూ వాటి దిగుబడి మరియు చీడపీడల గురించి శాస్త్రవేత్తలకు సమాచారం అందిస్తూ మరియు వాటిని జిల్లాలో రైతులకు కూడా అందిస్తున్నారు. తరువాతి రైతు శ్రీమతి యాసా శ్రీలతారెడ్డి గారు, కిన్నెరసాని గ్రామం, పాలంచ మండలం, భద్రాద్రి కొత్తగూడెం జిల్లా. శ్రీమతి యాసా శ్రీలత గారు కృషి విజ్ఞాన కేంద్రం భద్రాద్రి కొత్తగూడెం వారిచే శాస్త్రీయంగా తేనెటీగల పెంపకంలో శిక్షణ పొంది స్వయంగా 80 బాక్సులతో తేనెటీగల పెంపకం చేయబడుతూ నెలకు 120 కేజీల తేనెను ఉత్పత్తి చేస్తూ సంవత్సరానికి 2.5 లక్షల అదనపు ఆదాయాన్ని పొందుతూ పలువురికి ఆదర్శంగా నిలుస్తున్నారు. వీరికి PJTSAU ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారం అందుకున్నందుకు గాను మా అభినందనలు. తరువాతి రైతు శ్రీ వెనిగండ్ల శ్రీహరి, ఖమ్మం జిల్లా ఏన్కూరు మండలం ఇమాం నగర్ గ్రామానికి చెందిన రైతు వెనిగండ్ల శ్రీహరి గత 20 సంవత్సరాలుగా సమీకృత వ్యవసాయంతో చెరుకు, మిరప, కూరగాయ పంటలతో పాటు పశువుల పెంపకం కూడా చేయబడుతున్నారు. చెరుకు పంట జంటసాళ్ల విధానంలో సాగు, శాశ్వత పందిళ్లపై తీగజాతి కూరగాయల సాగు, స్టిక్కింగ్ విధానంతో టమాటా సాగు, ఆగాకర సాగు, కరివేపాకు సాగు వంటి నూతన సాగు విధానాలని అనుసరిస్తూ కొత్త పంటలను సాగు చేస్తూ కృషి విజ్ఞాన కేంద్రం వైరా శాస్త్రవేత్తల సలహాలు, సూచనలు పాటిస్తూ తోటి రైతులకు ఆదర్శంగా ఉన్నారు. తరువాతి రైతు శ్రీ వడాయి శంకర్ కుమురం భీం ఆసిఫాబాద్ జిల్లాలోని రెబ్బన మండలానికి చెందిన గంగాపూర్ గ్రామ యువ రైతు. ఎప్పటికప్పుడు వ్యవసాయంలో వస్తున్న నూతన సాంకేతికత పైన దృష్టి సాధిస్తూ కృషి విజ్ఞాన కేంద్రం శాస్త్రవేత్తల సలహాలతో గత సంవత్సరం అధిక సాంద్రత పత్తి సాగు చేసి సమగ్ర ఎరువుల యాజమాన్యాన్ని చేపట్టి పెట్టుబడిని నియంత్రించుకుంటూ 1 ఎకరానికి 16 క్వింటాళ్ల చొప్పున దిగుబడి సాధించడంతో పాటు ప్రతి సంవత్సరం వరిలో చిరుసంచులు సాగు చేస్తూ విత్తనముగా తోటి రైతులకు అందజేస్తూ వ్యవసాయ విశ్వవిద్యాలయ నూతన రకాలు ప్రాచుర్యం కల్పిస్తూ వినూత్న పద్ధతిలో కూరగాయల సాగు కూడా చేపడుతున్నారు. తరువాతి రైతు శ్రీ వంగల నరసింహారెడ్డి వ్యవసాయ కుటుంబంకి చెందినవారు కాబట్టి చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి వ్యవసాయంలో ఎక్కువగా అనుబంధాన్ని ఏర్పరచుకున్నారు. వీరు వరి, పత్తి, మొక్కజొన్న తదితర పంటల సాగు చేస్తూ మారుతున్న కాలానికి అనుగుణంగా ఎప్పటికప్పుడు వ్యవసాయంలో నూతన పరిజ్ఞానాన్ని ఉపయోగిస్తూ మంచి దిగుబడులు పొందుతున్నారు. జిల్లా ఏరువాక కేంద్రం, కరీంనగర్ మరియు వ్యవసాయ శాఖ రాజన్న సిరిసిల్ల వారి ప్రోత్సాహంతో 2018వ సంవత్సరం నుంచి చిరుధాన్యాలు కూడా సాగు మొదలుపెట్టారు. తరువాతి రైతు దమ్మ గంగారెడ్డి, గుళ్లపేట గ్రామం, జగిత్యాల రూరల్ మండలం, జగిత్యాల జిల్లా రైతు. వీరు వరిలో నూతనంగా విడుదలైన రకాలను విత్తనోత్పత్తి చేస్తూ నూతన సాంకేతికత పైన దృష్టి సాధిస్తూ ప్రాంతీయ వ్యవసాయ పరిశోధనా స్థానం పొలాస జగిత్యాల శాస్త్రవేత్తల సలహాలతో ముందుకు నడుస్తున్నారు. JGL 24423 అను రకాన్ని గత 4 సంవత్సరాలుగా విత్తనోత్పత్తి చేస్తూ ఎకరానికి 24 క్వింటాల దిగుబడి సాధించి వివిధ గ్రామాల రైతులకు నాణ్యమైన విత్తనాన్ని కూడా అందజేస్తున్నారు. తరువాతి రైతు శ్రీ ఎస్ పవన్ రెడ్డి, చెన్నారం గ్రామం, యాలాల్ మండలం, వికారాబాద్కు చెందిన ఎస్ పవన్ రెడ్డి అనే యువ రైతు అందరికీ ఆదర్శంగా నిలిచారు. చిన్న వయసులోనే వ్యవసాయంపై మక్కువతో ఒక పక్క చదువు సాగిస్తూ వ్యవసాయం పనులు చేస్తూ అనుభవం సాధించారు. ముందు నుండి వ్యవసాయంలో కొత్త సాంకేతిక పరిజ్ఞానం తెలుసుకొని వాటిని అవలంబించాలనే ఉత్సాహంతో శాస్త్రవేత్తల సలహా సూచనలు పాటిస్తూ వస్తున్నారు. తరువాతి రైతు శ్రీ షేక్ సయ్యద్ అలీ బాషా. శ్రీ షేక్ సయ్యద్ అలీ బాషా కాసనగోడు గ్రామం, నల్గొండ జిల్లాకు చెందిన రైతు. వీరు డ్రమ్ సీడర్ వరికి సరిపోయే కలుపు యంత్రాన్ని తయారు చేయడమే కాకుండా నీటి ఆదా మరియు కూలీల కొరతను అధిగమించేందుకు 8 ఎకరాల్లో మెట్ట వరి సాగు చేపడుతూ ఇతర రైతులకు ప్రోత్సాహం కల్పిస్తున్నారు. వీరు సమీకృత వ్యవసాయం కూడా చేస్తున్నారు. తరువాతి రైతు శ్రీ మాచర్ల రాజశేఖర్, చీల్పూరు గ్రామం, జనగాం జిల్లా వాస్తవ్యుడైన మాచర్ల రాజశేఖర్ ఏరువాక కేంద్రానికి వారి గ్రామంలో సహాయకారిగా ఉంటూ నూతనంగా విడుదల చేయబడిన రకాలు, వ్యవసాయ పద్ధతులను మరియు సాంకేతిక పరిజ్ఞానాన్ని ఎప్పటికప్పుడు రైతులకు తెలియజేస్తూ తను అవలంబించే పద్ధతుల ద్వారా ఒక అభ్యుదయ రైతుగా చుట్టుపక్కల గ్రామాల్లో రైతులకు ఆదర్శంగా నిలుస్తున్నారు. తరువాతి రైతు శ్రీ అల్లూరి వెంకటకోట సత్యనారాయణ రెడ్డి. This category of award belongs to CRI Pumps Awards, and I request the representatives from CRI Pumps Private Limited, Mr. P. Madhusudan and Mr. Kirti Srinivas and Mr. Sunil, to please join the dignitaries on the dais to hand over the CRI Pump Awards to the awardees. CRI Pumps and PJTSAU values and recognizes the contributions of farmers of Telangana state for their innovative farming practices who significantly contributed to the value creation process. మొదటి రైతు శ్రీ అల్లూరి వెంకటకోట సత్యనారాయణ రెడ్డి, ఖమ్మం జిల్లాలోని తల్లాడ మండలం కున్నపల్లి గ్రామానికి చెందిన రైతు. వీరు డ్రమ్ సీడర్ పద్ధతిలో వరి సాగు విధానాన్ని అమలు చేస్తూ కృషి విజ్ఞాన కేంద్రం వైరా వారి సూచనలు మరియు సలహాలను పాటిస్తూ ఎప్పటికప్పుడు నూతన సాంకేతిక సాగు విధానాలను అనుసరిస్తూ తోటి రైతులకు ఆదర్శంగా నిలుస్తున్నారు. అంతేకాకుండా ప్రతి సంవత్సరం చిరు సంచులను సాగు చేస్తూ వాటి దిగుబడి, చీడపీడల గురించి శాస్త్రవేత్తలకు సమాచారం కూడా అందిస్తున్నారు. నేలలోని సేంద్రియ పదార్థంను పెంచుటకు పచ్చిరొట్ట ఎరువులుగా జీలుగు మరియు పప్పు ధాన్యాల పంటలు కూడా సాగు చేస్తూ చుట్టుపక్కల గ్రామ రైతులకు అవగాహనని కల్పిస్తున్నారు. వీరికి CRI పంప్ వారి ఇంప్రూవ్డ్ వాటర్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ టెక్నాలజీ అవార్డు అందుకుంటున్నారు. తరువాతి రైతు శ్రీమతి నారెడ్డి తారాదేవి, లక్ష్మక్కపల్లి గ్రామం, రాజాపేట మండలం, భువనగిరి జిల్లా వాస్తవ్యురాలైన శ్రీమతి నారెడ్డి తారాదేవి గారు వ్యవసాయానికి సంబంధించి నూతన పరిజ్ఞానమును ఎప్పటికప్పుడు తెలుసుకొని ఇతర రైతులకు చేరవేస్తారు. సృజనాత్మకమైన శాస్త్రీయ పరిజ్ఞానం పెంపొందించుకొని వివిధ పంటలలో అధిక దిగుబడి సాధిస్తున్నారు. ముఖ్యంగా వరి, కంది, పత్తి మరియు కూరగాయల్లో సమగ్ర పోషణ, కలుపు, చీడపీడల యాజమాన్య పద్ధతులను పాటిస్తూ ఇతర రైతులకు కూడా తెలియజేస్తూ ఆదర్శంగా నిలుస్తున్నారు. తరువాతి రైతు శ్రీ బుద్దే విజయ్ కుమార్. శ్రీ బుద్దే విజయ్ కుమార్ కొమురం భీం, ఆసిఫాబాద్ జిల్లాలోని తిర్యాని మండలానికి చెందిన పెర్కపల్లి గ్రామం యువ రైతు. సాగులో తలెత్తుతున్న కూలీల సమస్యని అధిగమించడానికి తనకున్న ట్రాక్టర్తో పిచికారీ చేసేలాగా తక్కువ ఖర్చుతో కూలీల సమస్యని అధిగమించేలా ఒక మాడిఫైడ్ బ్రూమ్ స్ప్రేయర్ని ఏర్పాటు చేసుకోవడంతో పాటు పత్తిలో కాండానికి ట్రాక్టర్ సహాయంతో పూత పూసేలా యాంత్రీకరించుట, వినూత్నంగా కలుపులు తీసే పరికరాల తయారీ వంటి అనేక రూపకల్పనలు చేస్తూ ఎకరానికి సుమారు 10,000 ఖర్చుని ఆదా చేసుకొని తనతో పాటు ఇతర గ్రామాల రైతులకు బాసటగా నిలుస్తున్నారు. వీరికి సిఆర్ఐ పంప్స్ యూటిలైజేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఫార్మ్ మెకనైజేషన్ ఇన్ అగ్రికల్చర్ అవార్డు అందుకుంటున్నారు. చివరిగా శ్రీ రాజారపు భూమేశ్వర్, జగిత్యాల జిల్లాలోని మెట్పల్లి మండలానికి చెందిన మెట్ల చిట్టాపూర్ గ్రామ వాస్తవ్యులు. వీరికి చిన్నప్పటి నుండి వ్యవసాయం అంటే మక్కువ ఉండటం వలన వ్యవసాయాన్ని కొత్తగా చేయాలని ఆలోచనతో ఆరుతడి పంటలను సాగు చేస్తూనే 20 ఆవులతో ఓ చిన్న డైరీ యూనిట్ని నడిపిస్తున్నారు. అంతేకాకుండా 3,000 కోళ్లకు వసతి ఉండే షెడ్డు నిర్మాణం చేసుకొని అందులో కడక్నాథ్, గిరిరాజ, వనరాజ, రాజశ్రీ మరియు BV6 లాంటి కోళ్లను పెంచడమే కాకుండా అక్కడే ఒక చిన్న షాపును పెట్టుకొని కోళ్లు మరియు వాటి గుడ్లను కూడా విక్రయిస్తున్నారు. అలాగే ఉపాధి హామీ పథకం కింద తనకు వచ్చిన ఫామ్ పాండ్లో చేపల్ని కూడా పెంచుతున్నారు. ఉత్తమ రైతు పురస్కారాలు అందుకున్న రైతులందరికీ మా అభినందనలు. I now request the CRI Pump Private Limited representatives to felicitate the dignitaries on the dais. The representatives of CRI Pump Private Limited, Mr. P. Madhusudan, Mr. Kirti Srinivas and Mr. Sunil are felicitating the dignitaries on the dais as a token of respect and to mark the gratitude. We will now move on to the next category of the awards, the Student Award. We have one student receiving gold medal this year, late Dr. Alapati Apparao Gold Medal awarded for securing highest OGPA in Diploma in Agriculture. And this award goes to Ms. Nagula Jarnavi from Agricultural Polytechnic, Kampasagar. She receives a gold medal and a citation for her academic accomplishment. We now move on to the next category of the awards, award to non-teaching staff of PJTS Agricultural University for their dedicated efforts in the progression of university. The first award goes to Sri M. Praveen Kumar, Assistant Comptroller Budget from Administrative Office, Rajendra Nagar. We have the next award to Sri K. Balanarsimha from College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. The next award for Assistant Comptrollers goes to Sri Balanarsimha, Administrative Officer of College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. We have the next category of awards for the best superintendent, and we have 2 awards in this category. First award goes to Sri M. Murali, Superintendent, Regional Accounts Office, RARS Warangal. We have the next award to Sri M. Prabhakar Reddy from Agricultural College, Jagityal. We have the next category of awards to agricultural officers, and the first award goes to Sri M. Paresh Kumar, Agricultural Officer, Agricultural Polytechnic, Madira. We have the next award to senior assistants, and the first award goes to Srimati D. Sumalata, senior assistant from Administrative Office, Rajendra Nagar. The next award in the same category goes to Srimati D. Varalakshmi, senior assistant, Agricultural Research Station, Kampasagar. We have the next award to the best technical assistant, which goes to Sri P. Venkateshwaralu, technical assistant, AINP on vertebrate pest management, Rajendra Nagar. We have the next awards to JACTs, 2 awards in this category, and the first one goes to Sri Mohammad Beg, JACT Administrative Office, Rajendra Nagar. Second award in the same category goes to Sri Muhammad Zamir Ahmed, JACT College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. We have the next category of awards to agricultural extension officers. We have 2 awards, and the first goes to Sri C. Ravinder, Agriculture Extension Officer, Maize Research Center, ARI, Rajendra Nagar. Second award in the same category goes to Sri Sheikh Habib, Agricultural Extension Officer, RS and RRS Rudrur. We have the next category of award to artist cum photographer, which goes to Sri R. Srinivas, artist cum photographer, College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. He seems to be having a lot of popularity. We have the next category of awards to drivers, and the first goes to Sri B. Ramesh, driver from RARS Warangal. We have 2 more awards in the same category, and the next one goes to Sri S. Mohan, driver from College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. The third award in the same category goes to Sri M. Raju, driver from Indian Institute of Rice Research, ARI, Rajendra Nagar. We have the next category of awards to record assistant, field supervisors and cooks, and the first award goes to Sri B. Balakrishna, record assistant from College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. The recipient of same award goes to Sri E. Narendra, Record Assistant, Agricultural Research Station, Mudhol. the next award to Sri K. Sammayya, Office Subordinate, Administrative Office, Rajendra Nagar. Next award goes to Srimati M. Alivelamma from RARS Palem. And we have the last award to Sri M. Satyam, Agriculture Workman from KVK Malyal. We have Sri M. Satyam, Agricultural Workman from KVK Malyal. And congratulations to all the non-teaching staff of PJTS Agricultural University for the awards. We now move on to the most awaited awards, awards for the teaching staff of PJTS Agricultural University. ICAR PJTSAU Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Best Teacher Award goes to Dr. Parimal Kumar, Vice Principal, Agricultural Polytechnic College, Narayanpet. We have the next award, PJTSAU Best Faculty Award, and the award goes to Dr. G. Srinivas, Associate Director of Research, Regional Agricultural Research Station, Jagityal. We have the next award, PJTSAU Best Teacher Award, and the first award goes to Dr. V. Ramya, Assistant Professor, Department of Plant Pathology, College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. We have another PJTSAU Best Teacher Award, which goes to Dr. N. Mahesh, Assistant Professor Agronomy, Agricultural College, Polasa, Jagityal. We have the next category of awards, PJTSAU Best Research Scientist Award. The first one goes to Dr. T. Kiran Babu, Scientist Plant Pathology, Institute of Rice Research, Agricultural Research Institute, Rajendra Nagar. We have the next award, Dr. D. Padmaja, Scientist, Plant Breeding, Equipon Sesamum, RARS Jagityal. She receives PJTSAU Best Research Scientist Award. We have the next category of awards, PJTSAU Best Extension Scientist Award, and the first one goes to Dr. T. Bharat, Scientist Agronomy, Agricultural Research Station, Madira. We have another PJTSAU Best Extension Scientist Award, which goes to Dr. B. Rajashekhar, Subject Matter Specialist Extension, KVK Palem. We have the next award, PJTSAU Best Research Paper with highest NAS rating, and this award goes to Dr. S. Vanishri, Principal Scientist, Oil Seeds, RARS Palem. Dr. Vanishri receives this award for her paper titled RNA Sequence-Based Global Transcriptome Analysis of Rice Unravels the Key Players Associated with Brown Plant Hopper Resistance, published in International Journal of Biological Macromolecules with NAS rating 14.03. We have the next award, PJTSAU Scientist with highest funded external project, and it goes to Dr. V. Sunita, Scientist Entomology, AINP Vertebrate Pest Management, Rajendra Nagar, for her external project, Sustainable Intensification of Apiculture through Research and Technological Interventions for Doubling Farmers' Income in Telangana State, with a budget of 196.27 lakhs from National Bee Board. We have the next category of awards, Sri Mandava Venkatramaya Award for Best Teacher. This award goes to Dr. K. Pavan Chandra Reddy, Associate Professor, Department of Soil Science and Agricultural Chemistry, College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar. The recipient, Sri Mandava Venkatramaya Award, I request the students to please stop shouting. I request all the students to please stop shouting. Thank you, students. I request you all. We have the next award, Sri Mandava Venkatramaya Award for Best Research Scientist, and it is received by Dr. R. Shravan Kumar, Scientist Entomology, Regional Agricultural Research Station, Warangal. Dr. R. Shravan Kumar is acknowledged for his committed research on screening, identification and cataloging of biotechnology-developed rice cultures against gall midge resistance, besides PJTSAU allied cultures against gall midge resistance, and evaluation of bioefficacy of chemical insecticides against stem borer in rice. We have the next award, Janna Reddy Venkat Reddy Prize for Outstanding Agricultural Research Work in Telangana State, and this goes to Dr. S. Vanisri, Principal Scientist Oilseeds from RARS Palam. She was the key breeder involved in development, identification, evaluation and notification of rice varieties like Rajendra Nagar Vari 1, 2, 3, 4, Telangana Rice 5 and Telangana Sona. She also developed Telangana Sona introgression lines with BPH resistance from BPH donors. She has conducted transcriptome analysis to identify differentially expressed genes involved in iron and zinc pathways. We have the next award, Professor E. A. Siddiq Outstanding Award, which goes to Dr. Mohammad Latif Pasha, Senior Scientist Agronomy, Water Technology Center, Rajendra Nagar. He has done commendable work in improving and diversification of existing cropping systems for increasing farmers' profitability and livelihoods, besides standardization of fertigation schedules for crops grown on open field as well as in polyhouse. In view of his outstanding contributions in research, teaching and extension, Dr. Mohammad Latif Pasha is bestowed with Professor D. A. Siddiq Outstanding Young Scientist Award. We have the last award, Dr. Pingal Nageswar Rao Award to a scientist for outstanding research contribution in sugarcane, and this award goes to Dr. T. Prabhakar Reddy, Program Coordinator, KVK Palam, for his pivotal role in yield maximization of sugarcane and sugarcane-based intercropping systems in northern Telangana zone, and formulated fertigation schedule for sugarcane for plant and ratoon crop. In view of his contributions in the field of sugarcane research and related areas, Dr. T. Prabhakar Reddy is hereby bestowed with Dr. Pingal Nageswar Rao Gold Medal for the year 2023. Congratulations to all the award winners, and thank you, dignitaries, for doing the honors. I now request our Registrar, Dr. Venkat Ramana, for presidential remarks.
Good evening to one and all. respected Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Nalsar University of Law, the members of Board of Management, PJTSAU, the university officers, directors of various ICR institutions, former vice chancellors, former university officers, and former members of Board of Management, faculty, non-teaching staff, farmers, students, press and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen. Today, it is the moment of pride and happiness that PJTSAU is celebrating its 9th Foundation Day. It is a day to showcase our accomplishments and also to set goals for the future growth to fulfill the mandate of the university. Today, we had the privilege to hear from the most accomplished and learned person, our chief guest, the insights into sustainable development and the responsibility each one of us have to shoulder to meet the societal goal of the zero hunger. This university, since its inception in the year 2014, has put in greatest efforts possible to find solutions to the problems of farming community and agriculture in the state of Telangana in particular and the country as a whole. The university has released 61 varieties in 15 major crops, besides 117 agro-technologies which were developed and disseminated among the farming community of Telangana state. The university is in the forefront in taking up the research in emerging technologies for which sufficient infrastructure is developed. Similarly, the university, in order to meet the growing demand of the agricultural graduates, has started 4 new colleges after 2014, increasing the student intake to 1,240. To match the increased intake, several infrastructure facilities have been developed to ensure quality education in the university. The diploma students are also extending valuable technical service to both government system and also private sector who have been passed from the university from different agricultural polytechnics. To connect with the farmers, to address their needs and deliver the technologies, the robust extension network with the new ideas and methodologies is in the action through 8 Krishi Vijnana Kendras and 9 DAT centers. Some of the state-of-the-art facilities at PJTSAU which needs a mention are AG Hub, the Innovation Center working on the hub and spokes model, Central Instrumentation Cell, the one-stop facility for researchers and also students, and also Information Museum and Info Hub, and the TAFE J Farm and Product Training Center for meeting the training needs of the rural people. NABL accredited labs are also developed, particularly the pesticide residue and quality control lab, pilot units in the processing to understand entrepreneurship skills, and drone academy and language labs are some of them to be mentioned at this point of time. The AG Hub, funded by NABARD and Government of India, has successfully groomed 1,850 students as design thinkers, which is one of the unique programs across the country. It has an idea bank of more than 550 ideas. The AG Hub has nurtured 55 plus startups and 7 incubators in the rural innovation spokes. While the university is moving on the right path, there are several challenges which are still to be addressed. The society is eagerly awaiting to see what solutions university will offer to address the problems of the natural resource depletion, climate change, pest resurgence, quality food, and cost viability of the farming. It is the opportunity of the university to facilitate and give advisories on crop diversification, judicious use of inputs, particularly pesticides and fertilizers, respond to the early signals of the pest resurgence, consciousness about soil health, and market sensibilities, because agriculture is still not economical in most of the cases. Management of the weather adversities, etc., we are actually acting on. We have to find solutions and action plans to our farmers and policymakers in Telangana state in this regard. To further strengthen the efforts, the university is collaborating with various ICR institutions, government bodies, private sectors and financial institutions in order to broaden the canvas and have synergistic effect to serve the farming community in a better manner. Efforts are also made for channelizing the students' research to find solutions to the existing problems of the farmers. I am also happy to mention here that the alumni of the university are showing keen interest in contributing significantly in the form of financial support, placements of students, and sharing of their knowledge and experiences. Some of the recent contributions have been the AR/VR labs, RO plant, institution of the gold medals for the students, etc. Several institutions like State Bank of India, NABARD, etc. are actively participating and collaborating in our activities. Here, I take pride in mentioning that our paddy variety RNR 15048 Telangana Sona with low glycemic index has made a mark across the country and is being marketed by various firms. Similarly, the Tandoor Red Gram Dal received the GI tag and the Natural Dye Unit received one patent for composition, for printing and paint formulation in the natural dyes. I would also like to mention here that all the individuals who retired and also all those who are working right from the farm labor to the highest authority needs to be acknowledged for the contributions in making this university stand out very proud. I thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor Sri M. Raghunandan Rao Garu, IAS, for his constant support and guidance in spite of his several other assignments. The journey of PGTSAU would continue in the direction of making the farming community lucrative and empowered the farmers to take decisions confidently as a businessman. I once again wish my best wishes to all of you. Let us keep the spirit and work harder to keep the PGTSAU flag very high. ఈ సందర్భంగా అందరూ అవార్డు గ్రహీతలకు నేను మరొకసారి శుభాకాంక్షలు తెలుపుతూ మన అందరం కూడా ఒక ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ గురించే ఆలోచిస్తూ సెల్ఫ్ సెంట్రిక్ కాకుండా ఒక కమిటెడ్గా విత్ ఇంపెక్కబుల్ ఇంటిగ్రిటీతో మనం పనిచేయాలని చెప్పి మరొకసారి అందరినీ కోరుకుంటూ ఈ సందర్భంగా ఈ 9th ఫౌండేషన్ డే సందర్భంగా అందరికీ మరొకసారి శుభాకాంక్షలు, అవార్డు గ్రహీతలందరికీ కూడా శుభాకాంక్షలు తెలుపుతూ ముగిస్తున్నా. అందరికీ ధన్యవాదాలు.
Thank you, sir, for crisply navigating us through the journey of PJTS Agricultural University and its remarkable progress made till date. Thank you again, sir. Next, we move on to felicitate our 9th Professor Jayashankar Commemorative Address Speaker, Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Nalsar University, and I request our Registrar PJTSAU, Dr. N. Venkatramana, to felicitate our Chief Guest, Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Nalsar University, with a customized memento and a handloom kandua as a mark of respect and gratitude from PJTS Agricultural University. Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. V. Sudharani, Director of Extension, PJTS Agricultural University, to propose vote of thanks.
dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and each and everyone. At the outset, my best wishes and wishes to all of you on the eve of 9th Foundation Day celebrations of PGTSAU. I take this opportunity to express my deep gratitude to the almighty and cosmic energy of the universe to make this 9th celebrations, Foundation Day celebrations, a grand event. And I profoundly thank today's chief guest, Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad, for gracing the occasion and for his thought-provoking address, which really indicates a direction for the students and faculty of the university to be stewards of the sustainable development with legality and constitutional acts to keep in mind. Thank you very much, sir, for your gracious presence and address. And I place on record my sincere thanks and gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri M. Raghunandan Rao Garu, APC and Secretary to Government of Telangana, for having been the spirit and motivation behind all activities and events of the university. Thank you, sir. I also, with great reverence, thank the today's Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Padma Shri Siddiqui sir, the Doyen of Agriculture, a person to be remembered forever, for blessing us today with his presence and gracing the occasion and accepting the award. Thank you very much, sir. I also take the opportunity to thank all the members of Board of Management for gracing today's occasion. And I also thank the former Vice Chancellors, Dr. Padmaraju sir, and our former Vice Chancellor and first Vice Chancellor of the University, Dr. Praveen Rao sir, who is the person who has nurtured the university, made the university to walk, and today whatever we are seeing now is the brainchild of our former Vice Chancellor. Thank you very much, sir, for gracing the occasion. Thank you very much. And I also thank our Registrar, Dr. Ramana sir, and university officers, Dr. Seema, Dr. Anita, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, Dr. Mohan Reddy, State Officer, Controller, Shivaji Garu, and Director of Research, Raghuram Reddy Garu, University Librarian, Controller of Examination, Director Polytechnic and Director International Programs, and our beloved DSA, who has taken a lot of efforts in making all these arrangements. And I thank all the university officers for having been associated for the success of today's event. Thank you very much. I also take the opportunity to thank the former university officers and former faculty and retired officers, whoever have joined this occasion. I thank all of them, and I take this opportunity to thank all the awardees, especially the farmers who have come all the way from long distances from across the state, and thank the awardee winners of teachers, scientists, and as well as the polytechnic student who secured an award. I congratulate them at the outset and thank each one of you for gracing the occasion. And on this occasion, I would like to even thank the sponsors of the awards for various awards to the faculty and the farmers, and especially today we have sponsors from CRI Pumps. So I thank them for having come personally and giving the awards. And I thank the print and electronic media for covering this particular event. And I thank the university auditorium for making all logistics and arrangements in a proper manner. Thank you. And I thank all the ADs and ADRs and students and teaching and non-teaching staff of the university, those who are offline sitting here and viewing the event, and those who are online viewing the live streaming of this event. So I thank each one of them for participating in this great occasion. And I would like to to place on record my sincere thanks to all the committee chairpersons, conveners and members who have really taken all the efforts to make this event a grand success. Though last but not least, I must thank Dr. Aparna for anchoring very nicely the entire event today. So thank you, Aparna. If I have forgotten anyone, sorry. I thank each and everyone whoever have contributed for the success of this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam, for all your acknowledgements. I now request the honored dignitaries and the audience to please stand up for National Anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I request all the students to leave the auditorium after the departure of dignitaries and guests. Students may leave the auditorium from left and right doors, and please do collect refreshments on your way out. Thank you all.